Galactic Gaming's in the house. Started earlier. I can stay awake much longer. Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of holy fart fires, Galactic Gaming. Rick is in the house. Ken's in the house. Ken's in the house. Rick's in the house. Hope you guys are all doing great. Where is this? I'm working on something here. Mute that, my ladies, my friends, my gentlemen. Thank you all for being here, being so kind to join us. There you go. Let me mute that. What be a happening? I did watch a live stream earlier this evening. Rick says, thank you kindly very much. All good here. Good to see it. Don't forget the thumbs uppers. Galactic Gaming is staying up too late. He doesn't want to hang out with us late nighters, which are early morningers there in his part of the world. Is that Patrick in the house? Patrick's in the house. It's good to be alive. So what have you been up to, Patrick? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see everybody else in the world. I hope you guys are doing great. I no longer need these. I don't have to feel like I gotta yell. I have a tendency to speak with a raised voice as it is, and when I put shit in my ears, I talk louder. Pat's doing good. How's the weather up there in y'all's part of the wood? Is it calming down? Is it better now? I just dropped a couple new videos out. Well, here it is. I'm trying to find that. All right. Again, saying hello to you, Patrick. Good to see you, Patrick. I think my desk has moved. I don't know why, but I get a feeling my desk has moved a couple of inches. I don't like it when my desk moves a couple of inches without my permission. I think gremlins came in here and attacked me. They moved my desk. They made a mess out of my office. At least that's what I'm going to say. Because I know it ain't me. Chris D. Fishing's in the house. Hello to you. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here and joining. Everybody said hello to each other, by the way. Like, subscribe, and share to each other. Ricky's saying, hello, young Patrick. It's Friday night, everybody. Aren't you guys excited? No, not really, because when you're old, Friday night doesn't mean shit. Dennis, the blue theme looks very zen, right? Very cool. The only problem is my computer monitor is so big that I've turned the light function down to its lowest, and it still kind of makes me look glowy. But yes, I'm very zen, very centered, right? And I'm wearing a white hat because that makes I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. I know. Everybody's jealous of my cool hat, which I understand. It's okay. Dennis, good to see you. Patrick says hello to Rick. Chris says, you're cool. Thank you. I appreciate that, Chris. What kind of channel do you have? A fishing channel? We love to fish in this part of the world. Dennis, Patrick says, hello, Dennis. Do you have any arm candy you can share with us tonight? You know? Tomorrow's Saturday, by the way. Night's Friday night. Everybody should be either dancing with girls, drinking and partying, and raising hell, or if you're over the age of 40, sitting at home doing nothing. So, that's usually how it works. Then saying, hello to everybody. Take us to the promised land. Yes. My neck hurts today. I'll take you to the promised land. Woo! Promised land is tomorrow the wife goes to a birthday party. I'm going to do a live stream during the middle of the day tomorrow because my wife will be gone. Tim's in the house. Good evening, PAC. That's me, PAC, leader of the PAC. You know, not PCP, but PAC. Tim, how are you, my friend? Hope well. Things are well in the land of the Philippines. I do indeed. I got a message from somebody in the Philippines today. I just haven't read it. Somebody from the Philippines sent me a message. I think they were trying to ask me questions about Americans. So I'll answer that tomorrow. I didn't feel like doing it today. So Dennis, hello, Dennis, Patrick, Ken, everybody else. Remember. So the wife is working. Yes, she is, by the way. To be home late tonight. She's going to go to bed early instead of staying up late and watching. Here's what the little lady does. The little woman, she comes home and she either watches like Korean TV on her phone and or she studies online for her classes. And she always wonders why her eyes hurt. And I keep telling her, if you want to watch those weird Korean shows on the internet, you have an iPad. I don't know why you're trying to watch it on your little bitty phone. Get your iPad out and watch it. At least it's easier. But she's going to sleep in. She asked me a few minutes ago, she said, do you think I ought to do some studying tonight? Or should I get some rest so I can go to the party tomorrow? Like, well, I know what answer you want me to tell you, so you should get some rest so you can go to the party tomorrow. David Bradley's in the house. I have everything, David. David, I have everything. You name it, I have it. If you need it, I got it. Tim, how are you, my friend? Yes, Pat says easier. At least it's not raining here now. Oh, yeah. We haven't had rain. We're not going to get rain. I take that back. I was saying it's 91. It is now 89 degrees at my house. It feels like summer. I'm out. This is my last can, by the way. I have no more. We have to go to Sam's Club this weekend. I'm out. I have no more. That's okay. I have Lipton iced tea bags that I can substitute, and I have lemon I can put in that, but I don't like to do that. John Taylor's in the house saying hello to everybody. Pat saying hello. At least it's not raining in the land of the PH. Man, I talked to my brother. I talked to my brother today. He's down in the land of Dallas-Fort Worth area, down there in Texas. And he says, man, it's just hot as hell down there. And he's like, it's hot. It's hot. I'm like, well, there you go. Imagine that. Yes, we got to go to Sam's to get more sun soda and some more fish. We're out of fish and we're out of my tea. So we'll probably go Sunday because Lorelai is doing the Filipino party all day tomorrow. I am so excited because I don't got to go. I am. I know it's sad, but I'm really excited when I don't have to go. So I hope everybody's doing great tonight. What are you guys up to? What's going on? What problems of the world do you want me to solve for you and to save for you today? I got some new goodies in the mail. I got some laundry soap. Like anybody gives a shit. I got some laundry soap that is supposed to be special for cleaning up after pets. So this weekend, I'm going to wash Lily's stairs in this new laundry soap. Man, do I got an exciting weekend planned. Richard says, Patrick, hello, good to see you, my friend. Hello, Richard. So that's big news. And then, of course, you guys have all seen the great big drama we have with the millions and billions and quadrillions of wasps that try to scare away my hummingbirds. I put up the dragonflies. The dragonflies don't work, okay? I'm going to call it today, 100%. Fake dragonflies bouncing around on my patio don't do shit to get rid of the wasp. Zero. Nada. No. Nada. Nada. No good. No good. They look kind of cool in the wind, but the wasps just land on them. So I don't think they're scared of them. Richard, hello, homie. Good to see ya from Ken. Ken says, hello, Richard, one of my fellow homies. So we have 3 infiltrators now, Ken says. We do have 3 infiltrators. Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel that way? Is that a good thing or a bad thing, young Ken? So we appreciate them all being here, liking, subscribing, and sharing to the channel. If you're new here, everybody try to welcome all the people not in blue. That would be very kind of you guys to say hi to them. Welcome them in. Homies, it's a good thing for sure. Well, that's not what you tell me in private, Ken. You know? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that in public. No. So anyway, my stinking dragonflies don't work for shit. So I bought some wasp traps that look like what you would think a honeycomb or beehive is supposed to look like. It really kind of doesn't. But and you put meat or sugar water in those, and the wasps are supposed to fly in there and try to eat, and they crawl in these little holes and get in there and die. So I just put those up today. So we're going to see if that works. Spill the tea. No, I only have a half a can of tea left. We have to cherish every drop until I go to Sam's, probably on Sunday. So Dennis, Patrick likes that. So that's the other big exciting thing. I bought some weird looking plastic traps for the wasps to crawl into because I can't find their nests. I've killed 6 nests this year. And I don't know where this one nest, I don't know where they're coming from. Maybe I know now. I got to look at something tomorrow. Oh, one place I didn't. Oh, I've been on a ladder looking in my gutters because I found one wasp nest there and I killed it. I found them in the eaves of my house, in the mirrors of my pickup truck, everywhere. But I got one nest I can't find. So I think it just dawned on me where it might be. So tomorrow, we're going to kick the living shit out of it if that's where it is. Man, I'm on fire tonight. I am on fire tonight. Okay. Tea or the beans. I like beans, by the way. I'm a big fan of legumes. I like the mung beans from the Philippines, but I really like, beans, Mexican beans, Spanish beans. I don't like lima beans. Lima beans are kind of gross. So the other thing I bought, I'm going to share with you guys tonight, that I think everybody ought to buy. I haven't even opened it, but here it is. Very secret, magical. You guys watch the camera because you might not ever see one of these again. I ordered this literally about 6 weeks ago. It took them 6 weeks to get me this from China or Japan or whatever third world country that makes this. Brisk hasn't delivered your tea spot? No, that they haven't. And same thing with Skechers shoes. I just put a video out about my new Skechers shoes. I was telling my brother Johnny about that today. He's like, oh, so are they a sponsor? I'm like, Skechers shoes don't give a rat's ass about me. No matter how much I suck up to them. And Brisk Lipton Tea doesn't care about me, even though I suck up to them. Remember, now I have a second one of these. This is my backup. Or my new, I don't know, maybe the old one's a backup. This is the greatest device you need if you're going to do social media. Yes, mounts like to a tripod. See that? It has this stabilizer, so you can use it like this if you like. You can also run your power cord up to the phone. This adjusts. I use this every day. You can swirl it around, hang it upside down, do all kinds with it. This is one of the greatest little dilly boppers you can ever have for holding your phone. Took me 6 weeks to get it. All right. Richard says, Ken, how are you? Richard is saying hello to Ken. Ken and Richard are buddies. Richard, good to have you. It really is. We appreciate you coming in. We appreciate you guys from Ken's area seeing the light and coming to a more enthusiastic, energetic, smart-ass, interesting live stream like mine versus Ken's. So we appreciate everybody who understands mine or better. So thank you for that. Solinder's in the house. What's happening, buddy? What are you doing, man? Why are you up so early? It's not too late for you yet. How's things going? Is your summer over now? Ken says, Richard, hello to you again. He's like, again, Richard. Richard, I already said hello to you once, Richard. That's what that means when he says again. But that's okay, Richard. If Ken gets out of line, you let me know, and we'll smack his ass back in the line so fast that his pencil won't know how to write. There you go. Rick says, hello, Richard, good to see you. I'm currently still healing from surgery from soccer practice Monday. Ended up damaging your AC joint in my shoulder. Your AC joint. AC joint. I guess I don't know what joint AC stands for. In your shoulder. Because you only have one joint in your shoulder. Is that called AC? I woke up with a weird thing this morning. Not besides my wife and dog. Just like, Ken's Solinder, hello. Yeah, guys, hello to Solinder. He's a great, fine young man. Not as good as us old guys, but he's a good guy. He's a good young man. So, yes, not good, everybody says to Solinder. It's not. I have a tendency, this is why Bruce Davis, one time a while back, you guys know Bruce, he's in the Philippines. One time a while back, he was talking about how in the Philippines, his shoulders really started to bother him. And I told him, I said, well, the problem is you're laying on your shoulder in the Philippines. The beds are not as comfortable. You're putting your weight on your shoulder. So quit sleeping on your shoulder and lay on your back, and your shoulder won't hurt as much. So Linder says, yes, well, big fancy word. Woo, look at that. Man, that's even fancier than a Filipino word. At least you woke up. Yes, at least you woke up. Well, I don't know. You know me, I think waking up is overrated. Is that rotatory cuff in the shoulder? Yeah. Yeah, the rotary cuff is like the soft tissue, like the oil, I guess, or maybe what could we equate the rotary cuff to be? Like the bushings. I think the rotary cuff is the bushings. But I woke up this morning, because I have the same problem as poor old Bruce Davis did. But I woke up this morning and I got out of bed and I touched my arm, because, I like to touch myself in the mornings. Just saying. But I got up this morning and I went in the kitchen and I was doing something and I went, oh, that's weird. And I was on fire. I had lightning come out of my shoulder and my elbows. I thought I was dying on the spot. But then again, it went away in about 4 minutes and I was all better. But so we hope you're getting better, man. So they did surgery. So it's the bridge connecting the shoulder and the collarbone. Wow. Now look, you said you heard it playing soccer. All right. Now look, I may not be an expert when it comes to that European p-ball, football crap that they do. I may not be an expert, but I'm 99.9% positive that when you play soccer, you don't use your hands. So how did you hurt your arms playing soccer? That's what I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Patrick says, sorry to hear that, young man. Thank you all for the thumbs up. We got a whole lot of thumbs ups. We need a whole lot more thumbs ups. So, no surgery. Thankfully, the injury happened from slipping on the grass. All right. I was just checking, man. I was just checking on you because, I never played soccer. But sometimes I think soccer's not played with your hands. So, I kind of mean there. I'm glad you're doing better. Jamie's in the house saying, hello, everybody. But you swing arms while running, Tim says. Well, is that true? I haven't ran in 30 years, so how would I know, Tim? I heard a funny thing on the internet today about, it was not. It was not a funny thing on the internet. It was a joke. I think it was a joke on the show called Ted Lasso. It's now I don't get to watch it all because I only got to watch 2 or 3 free episodes, but he's a soccer coach. In Europe, he's an American football coach who got hired to be a soccer coach in Europe. And one of the jokes that came out of this was, do you know why soccer was invented? Well, they invented soccer so the little boys would learn how not to touch themselves. Whatever. Jamie, Mr. Young Rick says, hello, Jamie. Jamie, how are you doing today? Dennis is saying hello to everybody. Say hello to Dennis. Jamie, good to see you. I use my hands in soccer to block the ball from hitting my face. That sounds kind of like cheating. Says, hiya, Tim. But they thought the little boys were masturbating with themselves way too much, so they thought if they taught them how not to use their hands, and they would run them around the field without touching themselves, that's how soccer was invented. That's the joke. I don't know if it was or not. Richard says, hello, Jamie. Good to see you tonight over here in the promised land. I don't know. But it's a really cool show. If you get to watch it, it's called Ted Lasso. It's an Apple television show, and I don't pay for Apple television. But they got some free episodes like on Prime TV, but you only get like 3 or 4 of them. But man, I'm not going to pay, but it's a funny show. Hiya, Rich. It's an amazing show. You know the show? Funny as hell. I mean, literally just one of the funniest television shows without trying to be funny that is funny as hell. Hello, Richard. Good to see you. Richard, what part of the world are you from? What part of the wonderful, wonderful, wide world are you from? You're not from Indiana, are you, like Ken, are you? You have better taste than that, don't you? I hope, Richard. Hiya, Soul Linder. Jamie is saying hello. How's the babies today? Our friend's baby is 6 months old as of yesterday or the day before. I don't know. They wanted us to go take 100 degrees pictures, but they didn't do it or something. I don't know. And we couldn't go. Tim says, hello, Rich. Hello, Jamie. Jamie's got a gun. Jamie's girl. Or is it Jamie's girl? No, that's Jesse's girl. Jesse's girl. So, if you're going to watch that, anyway, Ted Lasso, funny show. I just don't know if I get to watch any more episodes because I'm too cheap to pay for Apple television. Unless I can find it bootleg somewhere like on the internet and steal it. Thank you all for the hearts, the thumbs up, the shout outs. Our channel's growing. I don't know why we're growing, but it's growing. We seem to be growing a little bit in the last couple of months, 3-4 months. I don't know if it's because of all the new photos, the nude photos that I sent to everybody, whether they wanted them or not. But just saying, I'm going to here eventually turn you guys on to my niece's channel. She's doing social media now. She's the professional horse trainer. And she's kind of got her own ag entertainment thing going on with the donkey and professional horses and things. You guys will get a kick out of her. I'm going to try to promote her product for her down the road here, only so that she can make enough money so my brother doesn't have to support her. There you go. Richard says, thank you from the Philippine-American couple to the Philippine-American couple. That's me. They are good. Plenty of meltdowns from Bruce and Madeline. Since the big sister's gone, he's like, Mommy! Going, where's the sissy? Where's sissy at? PAC, don't rely on your singing. Don't quit it, you tape a jabba. Hey, I can sing if I want to. Look, I've been to some of them there karaoke channels. I tell you, I can sing some of them. Some is better than some of them. Thank you, Soul Leonard, for dropping your link. Remember, if you're blue, you can drop your link without asking permission. You don't have to do that. You can just drop a link to a video or to a channel if you like. When you're blue, you don't have to ask. I'm so blue for you. I think that was an Elvis Presley song. But Tim, I'm thinking about becoming a professional singer. I am. Maybe people would pay me not to sing. Isn't that the same thing? Oh, look, I didn't tell you. Look, I got a little drug bag when I bought my thingy device, it comes in a drug bag. That's kind of cool, right? I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but because I have no drugs, but it comes in a cool little drug pouch. Or am I dating myself? Do young people still put drugs in pouches? Or is that something we did in the 80s? I'm asking, like as Ken says, I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for a cellmate. Rick's dropping a link there. You guys all connect with each other. Does Richard have a YouTube channel himself? Karaoke means singing from those who don't have any talent. Yes, karaoke's horrible. I'm telling you. If you have to karaoke, then you can't sing. I get that you need the music in the background to kind of follow along with, but you know, I don't know. And the drunker you get, the worse it gets. The worse it gets. I hate to burst some of y'all's bubbles out there, especially the ones in the Philippines that thinks they're the next Filipina idol. Karaoke can be rough. I had a friend that had a karaoke business here. All the machinery and setup. He had a little trailer he would drag around and do parties and events. And had a big screen that came out and everybody could sit around and be stupid. And he made good money. Portable karaoke trailer type thing. So, no comment, Jamie says, about the karaoke. But Jamie, you don't have to karaoke, do you? I think what Tim is talking about, and or at least what I mean, is if you have to karaoke, you can't sing. Because singing and karaoke are two different things. Trust me, I can do both, and I'm an expert in both fields. Just ask, I'll tell you. So, you know, I did hear a little bit of a funny about a new business opportunity. And I've been thinking about doing this. If I had energy, if I was a motivated human being on the planet, not being just a big, fat, lazy guy, if I truly had motivation, I know of a business that I think would be successful. And I'm going to share it with all of you guys. All you have to do is send me $10.99 a month, and I will give you a business idea that will make you millions upon millions of dollars. And I think it would really work in today's world. So Big John says he is full of shit. Well, John, I've talked to you about this. When your body is full of shit, you need to go to the bathroom. That's where you got to go. Okay? I mean, you go outside, I guess, but, you know, just go down the hallway. I don't have enough talent to do karaoke. I don't either. Makes sense. Jamie agrees with me because I'm handsome and charming and debonair, you know. So there you go. And I'm always right. Have you guys ever noticed that? I don't ever seem to really get things wrong. You know, it's kind of amazing. You know, I tell my wife that all the time. I try to, you know, I tell Lorelai, I said, you know, I don't know if you realize this or not, but have I ever been wrong? You know, and she just kind of rolls her eyes. I don't know what that's all about. You know, I think she doesn't hear me. I did some in April for everybody, some karaoke back in April. Yeah, I remember did you karaoke on our channel or did you sing on our channel? I couldn't remember if you did the karaoke or the singing or both, or is it the same? Is karaoke and without the words? So if you got the song playing in the background, but you know the words, is that karaoke or is that just singing to the music? Pat says, oh, I did some in April. Maybe Jamie needs glasses. Maybe. Probably. Glasses are a good thing. Glasses can be very, very helpful in life. I'm telling you. I recommend. You know, everybody get glasses, especially if you're going to drive on the road today. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and I don't remember because, you know, my brain is squishy. You know, here's some good bad news. I went to the doctor the other day. That's not funny, everybody. You know, just because people have medical issues and they got to go to the doctor, don't be laughing at that shit. But I went to the doctor the other day. The doctor says, I got some good news and I got some bad news. And I said, oh, really? He's like, yeah. I said, all right, well, lay it on me, brother. He's like, well, The good news is you're not pregnant. I'm like, okay. He's like, well, the bad news is you're just fat. I'm like, well, yeah, I know. Thank you. Thank you. I already figured that part out. So he wants me to go exercise with all the damn old people. And I told him, I said, we can't go to the old people fitness place because there's nothing but a bunch of smelly ass old people in there trying to exercise. And they want to talk to you, and they get in the way. They're slow, they're handicapped, walking around with damn crutches and canes, going, and I said, a bunch of damn old people in the old people place. I'm just saying. All right. So Patrick likes that. Jamie was like, man, you people are on drugs or something. I don't know what's wrong with you people. You people got a serious drug problem. Jamie says, actually, when I was pregnant with my very first child, I went to the hospital because my ex had a heart attack. And at the time, the nurse kept staring at me and said, what are you looking at? She said, well, I'm trying to figure out if you're fat or pregnant. I'm trying to do this one serious, Jamie. I really am. I'm trying to put my adult voice on here. Trying to figure out if you're fat or pregnant. I never seen my ex get out of the house and go to bed so fast and hold me back. Hold me back, mama. Woo, hold me back. The doctor came in and reprimanded her. Well, yeah, I think there's more tactful ways to do that. I do, You can always just say congratulations and the person says, oh, well, thank you. Then they're not fat. If you say congratulations and they're going to go, well, I'm not pregnant. You go, no, that's not what I want to mean. Congratulations for being here next to your husband. See, you got to be able to fly on the fly. You got to be able to jump in there and go with it. Good news, I will die in 6 months. Bad news, I should have told you 5 months ago. That's how I feel. Patrick says, oh man, Jamie, oh my. Man. I've only had a few medical people be rude to me in my entire life. Usually because I am a very charming and handsome and debonair young man. And I'm going to tell you some stories. All right. You talk me into it? Lorelai hates the fact that I'm nice to medical people. She's gotten a little bit better now in her old age. She accused me numerous times of flirting with the nurses and the medical people. All because I'm polite and courteous to them. And I told her, I said, you got to understand, these people can put my happy ass in pain. They could kill me. They got my balls in their hands. They can drag me around this hospital and do all kinds of shit to me. So you got to be nice to them. You got to be polite to them. They can hurt you. And you can't do anything about them. If you get slapping them, you go to prison for a felony. Not a good thing in my day and age. And, well, you're too friendly to them. I'm like, well, okay, then you tell them they're all bitches. Leave me out of it. But the only time I've ever had any medical personnel ever be rude to me is when I left the rehab center for my coma against their advice and their will because they were making shitloads of money off of me. And I got out of there. And they tried really hard. And I had to get a little ugly, which is really bad because my body they knew I couldn't hurt them. I couldn't even stand up and walk. I didn't have function of my body yet. But I flatly told him, I said, you better hope in hell I don't get to slap the shit out of you. So. Those doctors do work out, though. I have seen some EMTs that look like they could bench press a car. Yes. Now, the other problem I have is fat people like me. We'll go down this road a little bit. So here's a problem I do have. I don't like fat people telling me that my health is bad. And I'm a fat guy, so I'm not going to tell you your health is bad. One fish is in the house all the way over from Ken's World. He's discovering the wonderful people all over here. One fish, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. How are you tonight? What's going on in your world? So, I don't like I don't know how you can have a fat dietitian. I don't know how you can have a fat healthcare provider. You know, I don't want that. I'm sorry, I'm biased. I don't want a fat person telling me to go on a diet. So, One Fish, hiya, good to see ya. We do appreciate you being here, One Fish. I know, you know, sometimes it's hard to come to the dark side. It's the dark side of the moon. But we do appreciate you. Tim says hello, and you guys all subscribe. One Fish, does One Fish have a channel, by the way? One Fish. Now, Tim, don't answer for him. He can answer himself. I don't know if One Fish has a YouTube channel or not. But everybody say hello to One Fish. But I don't know if anybody else feels like that. I don't want a fat firefighter, a fat cop, a fat doctor. You know, I just don't. A fat football player is really good. Really good. A fat sumo wrestler is really, really good. Yes. But somebody who says you need to eat less food and you weigh more than me, go kiss my happy ass. One Fish is saying hello to Jamie and to Ken. Miss Avocado, the queen of avocado. Don't trust a skinny, well, there you go. A skinny cook is not a good thing either. That means they just spit their food out. There's that Italian chick who's the chef. I don't know what her name is. I can't remember. A famous Italian cook. She's pretty, but she's about the size of a toothpick. And she's, I guess, a good Italian cook. And she's famous. She's got her own television show and all that crap. But I saw a thing on where she doesn't eat her own food. She tastes her food and spits it out. She doesn't eat her own food. Yes, I have two tuba channels. Tell everybody what your channel is about, both your channels. Can you give us a brief description? One Fish is a good friend. A good fishy friend. A fishy good friend. One Fish, let me see, where are you at? Let me go over. Maybe I can turn you blue and you can drop your stuff. Give me a second to figure out where I'm at in my channel. Hang on. But I'm just, you know, I know it's biased of me because I'm a fat guy, but I don't want a dietitian who weighs more than me. So One Fish has 456 subscribers, 1.7 thousand videos, 1,700 videos. Apparently he's doing a live stream, does live streams. Oh, he's from New York. He's a New Yorker. He's from one of them there Yankees from New York. Let me turn you blue real quick, and that'll allow you to drop your stuff. All right? Give me a second. And it's kind of the same thing with law enforcement. I don't want a dirty cop as a cop. I don't want a cop who's a bully, who can't follow basic laws and rules. You know, we should role model the behavior that we're going to do. So, my views is in the house. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Jamie says, Tim, my grandmother had a sign in her kitchen that said, skinny cook can't be trusted. That's why they wash dishes. I'm assuming that's why she never let me cook at her house. I always had to wash the dishes, indicating Jamie is a skinny mini. My views, good to see you, my friend. How are you? Richard says, One Fish. There's Richard. Richard, do you have a YouTube channel? Would you like to be turned blue if you have a YouTube channel? Let me go and see if Richard has a channel. Because, you know, in my world, if you have a channel, it's okay to be blue. But if you don't really have a channel, then doing blue really doesn't do anything for you. Because being blue just pretty much allows you to drop your stuff without asking. My views were good to see you. Jamie, hiya, my views, hello, everybody. Shout out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. My wife's excited. She's going to go eat Filipino food tomorrow, by the way. I'm just excited I don't got to go. But I think we ought to role model your behavior. So what kind? So now what you need to ask yourselves, if you guys watch our live streams, what in the hell is the behavior of this guy over here? What's the deal? Is he advocating for nutty people? Is he advocating for people off their rockers? What's he advocating for? I think, we should role model our behavior. My channel is about Canastaisto River. I also occasionally make train videos. Keith makes train videos. Our friend Keith that comes in does trains. And then we also have another friend called Southwest Jeff that does trains. Weather videos, my location videos are interesting places, rural western New York. New York, not the stinky New York City. It is very, very good that you clarified that, because nobody likes stinky New York City. Nobody. We do believe that parts of New York is a beautiful state, but I don't want to go there. I hate to say this. New York is one state that I haven't been to, and one state that is not even on the radar to be on the bucket list. I mean, if somebody bought me a trip, I'd consider it, but it's low priority. Yeah, Tim's a New Yorker. What part of the world is that? Western New York, Tim's asking. Southern tier of New York, the state. But in all sincerity, I don't know why anybody would go to New York when you could just go somewhere else. But remember, I don't like cold weather, so I don't like going to Maine either. Maine's not on the bucket list. New Jersey, been there. That place is a shithole. So, but I've been there. I left going, man, this is a shithole. So, Jamie Rich is a good friend too. Yes. Outstanding young people in the world. Are they young people or old people? Jamie. Everybody's a good friend. New Jersey is the armpit of the year. I would agree with that. Yeah, I thought it was a shithole. And I've been in a lot of shitholes. Been in multiple third world countries. And yeah, kind of disgusting. So, but what can you say? Washington, D.C. used to be a shithole, too. I don't know, man. What are we going to do in life? How do we make things better, then? That's the question. How do we take New York and make it a place? I always think, what I think about when I think about New York? I think about the salsa commercials. You guys remember the salsa commercials about the peso? What was pace? Was it pace? Salsa? New York City? Some salsa was made in New York City. Remember that? Scary Gary, Indiana. Worst place I've been to. It's another armpit, drug-infested place, kind of like Philadelphia. When you get to walk around the city and you see all the bodies leaning from the drug overdoses. We're becoming in a way, an armpit. Just south of Baghdad is the worst place I've ever been. All right. Baghdad. Well, they're going to be needing to hire some construction workers, I got a feeling. So if anybody wants to be an independent contractor and go work over there, they're probably going to be hiring soon. So no, there's, it's like every place you go, there's bad and there's good. But what we have to understand is, even with the good can be bad. So, good literally can be bad. Like here, where we live, I live inside of the Walmart home office, right? So, in my part of the woods, we have all these filthy rich billion-dollar companies. Walmart, J.B. Hunt, Tyson Foods, Arvest Banks, numerous other financial institutions all right here. We have some of the most expensive, best-looking parks you could imagine. We do indeed have some of the most beautiful homes, million-dollar homes left and right. Big streets, pretty cars. But You can't afford to live here anymore. We're being chased out of paradise. Mud huts, see, that's kind of like third world countries. What a lot of people don't understand about third world countries is, the infrastructure gets wiped out by hurricanes, typhoons, earthquakes, tornadoes, bombs. Well, hell, you just rebuild them back because the infrastructure really wasn't anything important, was anything substantial. Well, I didn't know that one fish. Yes. My view says, I'm doing good, man. Just got food delivered. Woo! You got some food delivered. What'd you get? Supporting local businesses. Yes. There's a Filipino who cooks meals out of her home every Saturday. Today is chicken parm for me and chicken quesadilla for the lady. Ooh, you got a lady with you. Why didn't you lead with that? You should have said, my lady and I got takeout today, supporting a local business. You threw the lady thing on the tail end there. So does your lady know that she was last in the sentence versus first in the sentence? I'm just asking. Doing good, just had food delivered. Yes, Pat says, Jamie, I heard Gary, Indiana, lost abandoned areas. And yeah, Gary is really a depressed city. It's pretty bad. But the Chicago Bears are going to move there, right? Isn't that where the Chicago Bears are going to go? Hello, Tim. Chick parm is good. It is good. I need to get some Parmesan cheese, by the way. Can you guys put that on my grocery list? I need some, and I need the real stuff. I don't need the weird shit. I need some real Parmesan cheese. We've been doing a lot of Alfredo sauces. Lawson is in the house. Howdy, everybody. Lawson, how are you, my friend? What are you up to? How's the week going for you? What's going on in your week? Lawson, hope you're well. Tim says, hello, Lawson. Hammond? Hammond what? What the hell? I wouldn't. Hey, one of my old consulting business partners' last name was Hammond. So what do you mean? What are you talking about, Kenneth? She's asleep. She'll get over it. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer, my friend. You know what they don't know when they're sleeping won't hurt us, right? What they don't know while they're sleeping won't hurt us. Hiya, Tim from Lawson. Hello, Lawson. I'm doing good. Doing good. School's good, but it's the weekend, so that's great. First week of school this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you have homework? Are they giving homework on the very first week of school? Back when we were children, they didn't give you homework for at least 2 or 3 months. And that's why we were dumb as shit. That's why we don't know anything. But now I think they give you homework right away. Do your homework this weekend, young man. The Bears moving to Hammond. Oh, is that the name of the town? All right. Hammond, Indiana. I don't know where that is either, to be honest. Just waiting for my girlfriend to come over and to bring the food. Yes, Timothy. Timothy, he's the smart man. He just waits for the woman. Woman, how much for the woman? Woman, bring me food. I need to send my wife back to the Philippines to live for 2 or 3 years, then bring her back to the United States. Not me go live there because I get too bored, but her to go live there for 2 or 3 years, and live on $500 a month in the Philippines. And then I can bring her back. Maybe she'll appreciate America again. Now, GI School in Lawson, we are rooting for you. Yes. Lawson's a great guy. He's going to be a pro golfer who moonlights as a pilot, or he's going to be a professional pilot who moonlights as a professional golfer. One of the two or both. Yes, I have homework, but it's not like very hard homework. All right. Man, I would have gave you hard homework. I would have gave you guys so much homework the first week of school that you would have went home crying and bawling, going, oh my God, why did I go back to school? I would have loaded you up so much you didn't have time to breathe over the weekend. Because that would have set the tone for later in the semester. When I didn't give you as much homework, you would think I'm a great teacher. Oh my God, the teacher is so nice. They only give us 1 chapter instead of 40 chapters to read this week. See, I make myself out to be a hero. That's what I would do. I'd overload you, and then I would back off, and you guys would think I'm a hero. You'd love me. You write good reviews about me. Tell all your friends going, man, this is a really good teacher. Sometimes teachers need to use psychology to get their way. Oh, Hammond is next to Gary, Indiana? Well, maybe, look, in all fairness, to be honest, and I don't know Indiana, but let me tell you this. I know this much. If the Bears plopped up and moved to Scary Gary, Indiana, Scary Gary would no longer become Scary Gary. The billions of dollars investment in that would run all of the drugs and garbage out. And it would become re-gentrified into that business. So it would change the landscape of the world there. It really would. Now, a few years later, that element would creep back in, but it wouldn't be as strong as it is today. AJ says, Chicago is bad for business. Hammond is a smart move. It is, plus nobody likes Chicago. My wife went to Chicago, and she came back. Lawson, hello, Lawson, young man, good to see you. I would have lit my homework on fire. Yes, see? You know why you would have lit your homework on fire? Because your little pencil would have been scribbling so fast and so hard, trying to answer all the questions, that your little graphite pen or pencil would have been poof. One fish says, Canistino is pronounced Can-is-T-O. Can-is-T-O. Canistio. 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 I wonder what the origin of that word is. He said it's Native American phrase for the junction of two rivers. Do you know what Native American tribe that is? Because that's an interesting phrase for a Native American language. So, you know the tribe's origin or which tribe it is? I did homework, but I hated it so much. The mosquitoes are out today. Yes. Oh, they're in the Philippines. I didn't go. I was going to do my live stream outside tonight, but it's 89 degrees. And I figured the mosquitoes would still come and eat me. Because, some of us are so sweet, the mosquitoes like us. So, they're still counting votes from the first mayor day. Yes. Oh my God, the voting system in America is such of a joke. It's unbelievable, There's been some funny videos about Minnesota and people doing undercover videos about the voting in Minnesota and how you can basically just lie and say, yeah, I'm a Minnesotan, and then you can go vote, without any proof of anything. There's a lot of funny things on the internet politically now, on both sides of the coin, the crazy people and the non-crazy people. Now you get to decide who's the crazy people and who's not the crazy people. That's not for me to judge. It's not for me to promote who's crazy and who's not crazy. Just not. Not my job. My job is to, I did dishes today. That was my job for today. I think that's all I did. Oh, I was supposed to do laundry and dishes. But all I did was dishes. So I think I got a 50%, so that means I half-assed it today. But, whatever the Bears want to do, nobody cares. It's kind of like, the Walmart guy bought the Broncos, And I guess the Los Angeles Lakers are going to be for sale again. And it sounds like the Dallas Cowboys are going to sell again or be sold, Yes, it's the Seneca tribe. Okay, like the gambling. Or they call themselves the Onondaga. Yeah, I'm not going to touch that one. The Great Hills people. Okay, so the Great Hill people versus the Great Plains people. I got you. All right, I'm with you. I know a little bit about Indian history, to be honest, frontier history. I took a class in it many thousands of years ago. So, and I really enjoyed frontier history. Big fan of it, but do I remember it? No. And I did take a course back in the day because I was originally a history major. That didn't work out. And I did take a course on now what we call First Nations, but it was about Native American, like Native American history back then. Now it would be called something else. I actually found active voters that died over 60 years ago. That's correct, in Minnesota. Curlin Family Adventures, she's got a great channel. She's a superstar. She's one of the most famous YouTubers on the planet right now. She's pushing 100,000 subscribers. So her and her husband's from America. He's handsome like the rest of us. So he's from America. She's still in the Philippines. So if you guys haven't checked out her channel, please do. Nice people. They're good people. So, no, not as good as us, but, they're good people. They're good people. So you guys all support them. I like 14 million, my friend. There you go. Well, you get there eventually, I was telling my brother today, I hope to get, to 2 tomorrow. So you got to have goals. But she's world famous. I told her the other day, my goal in life was to be famous like her. That's my goal. Someday I will achieve it. But they had a great channel, so you guys check them out and follow them. They have a lot of good supporters. She doesn't have a lot of creepy weirdo people that follow her, which is kind of a good thing. We might be the creepiest and the weirdest. And then I also think she also has another channel, and you can drop that, Curlin, if you want. If you want to drop the other one, where they talk about relationships and all the crap that we go through. Like Lorelai and I, all the relationship stuff that we've done and do. So, good. I wanted to be a history major, but it was all old news, no current events. I love history, and I was going to be a history teacher. I was. But as I got going along, I discovered that teachers make no money. So I went, oh, that sucks. So maybe I won't be a history major, because I was going to be also a football coach. I was going to coach football and teach history, high school football and history. And I realized, well, man, I definitely would be poor all my life. So I kind of went a different direction. I wound up being a college professor instead. It made me poor for the rest of my life. So I tried to get away from teaching. I really did, but it sucked me back in, and I became an expert, a subject matter expert in some fields that sometimes paid me very, very good money. Other times did not. So even I couldn't get away from it. But at least I didn't teach high school. The goal was to be a high school football coach. But no, I wind up teaching college. But history is old news. Do we ever learn from history? That's the key. Are we smart enough to see what history is and where it can take us? That's what I do in the mornings. Let me put a plug out for my morning live streams, where I'm taking what successful people have done in the past to make millions and billions of dollars before social media even existed, before they even knew what the hell electricity and internet was. I'm taking their business strategies and I'm switching them over here to modern day social media platforms. How we can use those same things to make a better social media product. And I'm dividing them. YouTube has a new thing called shows. And so I'm starting to divide them up, the books, into different shows. So one book would be a series of shows. Another book will be a series of shows. So keep that in mind. You can come back, and if you want tips about how to be a better public speaker, how to, relate to people better, how to win friends, influence people, how not to go to prison for bad things, how not to get suckered into things, how not to worry your life away, how not to stress. I am going to tell you the secret to doing that as it applies to social media. Because now I've decided, since Dennis said that I was a life coach and a death coach, I decided that I'm a social media coach. Because remember, in modern today, we can be anything we say we are. I can be a girl if I say I'm a girl. Look at the men basketball players getting ready to go to the women's league. They volunteered and said, hey, I'm a girl. I want to go play over here, and they're going to get to, I guess. So I can pretend and say I'm a social media king, and you guys should all listen to me. So I don't know. Pat says, hello, Curlin family. Good to see you as always. Yes, they're a good channel. Always study history so you don't make the same mistake more than twice. History absolutely repeats itself. Don't think it doesn't. Because, and why is because history is human nature. History is the study of human nature. It's not study of facts that happened in the past. It's a study of human nature. That's why it always repeats itself. Now, maybe one day we'll have flying cars, but it's still going to be the same stupid shit we get ourselves into. We're still going to fight politically and money-wise. The dressing, the icing on the cake will just be a little different, and depending on what year it is. Tim says, well, PAC, you know, just as long as you don't post your bikini pictures. Well, thinking of that, Tim, you know, I think my channel's starting to grow a little bit because I started mailing out my topless photos of myself, right? So even the people that didn't ask, they kind of get these really nice topless photos of myself. So now that we're growing and making up a little movement, I'm starting to think to get a thong and take another picture, because if I can get my channel to grow by sending out topless photos, what could I do in a thong, Tim? And you're number one on the list. You'll be number one on the list. So, you know. Rick up in the Great Lakes says, hello, One Fish. How are you from New York? Minnesota to New York, New York to Florida, Florida to California. Got people everywhere. Thank you all for being here. It's great to have you. Thank you all for the thumbs up. So we, yeah, I don't know. You guys want to see bikini pictures of me? I don't have a bikini, but Speedo. How about Speedos? Isn't that what guys wear, or Speedos, you know? So, don't spoil the lunch. We haven't got your lunch yet. The girlfriend's not there yet. Soulander says, I am still here listening because I can't believe the shit he's talking about. Sending me pictures of himself without any clothes on. That's horrible. I don't want to be blinded for the rest of my life. One Fish says, hi, Rick. How are you today? Rick, how was your day? One Fish, do you work? I'm not digging in too deep, but I always try to ask people how their work day went. And if they got a story, a funny story they want to share with us about anything that you do in your day, whether it's, you know, Jamie and the little ones farting in her face, or, you know, dealing with a horrible customer, or AJ chasing down hot, sexy Filipino women in the Philippines. So we always like to know what's going on with people, how their day is going. I saw on the internet, there's like people now doing these little videos about the things that Filipinas should be aware of and understand and translate from the American side, you know. And I'm thinking, gee, that's interesting. Just remember, what has been seen cannot be unseen. This is true. Even if you lose your eyesight, you still can't unseen it. Now, it may get a little furry, blurry, but it's still entrenched in your brain. You know, I'm telling you, that's you know, and I agree with this, because look, what I saw in my coma cannot be changed. But Tim, you're exactly right, man. Once you see it, you can't unseen it. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Once you feel it, and we've all felt things under the covers, you know, and went, yeah, what the hell is this, right? We've all done it. Don't say you haven't done it. And I know some of you men have been under the covers of some things that would scare the hell out of Frankenstein. Just saying. I know how you are. I know how you are. So you guys have had, I'm going down a bad ditch. So you guys have had yourself in some pies that nobody should have their fingers in. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I know how it is. Tim, what is what is the girlfriend bringing you for lunch, by the way? My wife's going to lunch tomorrow, so I have to figure out what I'm going to eat tomorrow. What am I going to eat tomorrow? Does anybody have any suggestions? Because we can't go to I can't go to Sam's without my wife, even though that would save me a whole lot of money, but I still can't do it. So tomorrow for lunch, I got to figure out what I'm going to have. Maybe I can have a hamburger. I got some hamburger meat in there. I like to have pizza or sushi, but I can't go get pizza. Well, my wife doesn't like pizza, but I can't go get sushi without her. The girlfriend didn't say what she's going to be bringing, but whatever she's going to be bringing, you going to be eating it, buddy. You know, she's like, he doesn't get a choice. He's going to eat what the hell I bring him. That's just the way it is in this household. So, I don't know. I'd like to have pizza tomorrow, maybe Domino's, because it's the best. Here's what's really sad. Where I live, Domino's is the best, easiest pizza to get to. Do they have a few pizzerias that you can go to that takes you an hour to get a pizza because they make it all fresh? Yeah, but I don't want to sit somewhere for an hour waiting for a pizza. I can just call Domino's. I like to have some meatloaf, but Patrick keeps promising to send me meatloaf and he never does. Patrick keeps promising to cook us good food and he never does. So, she did ask what I wanted, and what did you say besides skin, baby, skin? Just bring me some skin, baby. Now, here's the bad thing. When you tell a Filipina that you want some skin, they think they mean pig skin, like in lechon skin. So I told my wife one day, I said, give me some skin, baby. She's like, well, we got to go to the store and get a pork belly. And I'm like, what the F are you talking about? She's like, well, if you want the skin, we can. I'm like, oh. Then she says, I don't care. I don't care what she brings me. I will eat it. Well, your girlfriend knows you well enough now that she's going to bring you what you like. She knows that. She knows you well enough. But just keep that in mind. If you're around the Filipinas and you say, baby, show me some skin, they're going to go get the pig. You know, that's what they're going to do. They're going to get you the pig versus some real skin. Cracklins. I don't mind cracklins. I'm not a gigantic fan of them, but I don't mind them. You know, the ones in America are fake. Did you know that? They're actually no pig skin. There's a couple of brands of pork cracklins. What do we call them here in America? Pork rinds? They call it pork rinds here? I looked at the ingredients on some of the pork rinds. It never mentions real pork. They're not made out of real, they're not a pork skin fried. They're not. Yeah, pork rinds. So in America, now when you're in the Philippines, you can buy them on the side of the road in the bag. But Lorelai buys them from time to time when we make mung beans, and she puts them in the mung beans, right? So, which is really good. I like mung beans, but I like it more with the coconut, not the pork rinds. But at the store one day, she told me, hey, you got to get some of these. And I'm like, all right. She's like, well, make sure you get real ones. And I'm like, real ones? Aren't they all real? So I started reading the labels. And like the ones that you see from Doritos or Cheeto brand, whoever that is, they're not pork rind. They're not pork skins. They're kind of like Pringles. Pringles is not a potato chip. You know that, right? Same thing. Blew my mind. So there is one brand that is actually pork skin, pork rinds. You can't even get real dead flesh in America. I mean, how sad is that? You know, everything in America is artificial. The women are artificial. Sorry, Jamie. The drinks are artificial. The meat's artificial. Now everybody thinks our meat is not real meat. It's all lab-engineered, gooey meat. You know, even poor old Chick-fil-A gets picked on for having imitation chicken. Subway's been selling imitation chicken for years, and it's really bad. So, but we got dead pigs everywhere. You mean they can't make the pork rinds out of the damn dead pigs? A bag of Fritos do sound good. I like Fritos. I gotta admit, I like Fritos. I'm not a big Dorito fan or like Lay's potato chip. I like the sour cream and onion. But I'm not a big, gigantic Ruffles potato chip guy or not. But I gotta admit, I like the original Frito. And then I like the big scoop that they have. I like the big scoop. And I make chili. And I take the scoop Frito and I just put the chili inside the Frito scoop. And you eat that like that. That's how I like to eat chili. Chili that way. I am going to try to make some corn Dodgers here real soon from the John Wayne movies called True Grit. Corn Dodgers. I'm going to try to make some of them this soon. So, thinking of corn. I like Fritos. Fritos and chili go hand in hand, everybody. Thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. Oh, I forgot to put goals. We don't have any goals set up for tonight's live stream. Well, holy shit and butt farts. And I didn't even ask you people to be a member because it's cheap and easy like me. Man, I slackened tonight. Patrick, you didn't do a very good job reminding me to do things. I'm ashamed of you. Get rid of that. Close some of this out. There we go. From San Antonio, Texas. Yes. Now they're probably made in Japan and shipped back to America. Patrick says, what? What? We were talking about how you keep promising to make us all really good food, Patrick, and you don't do it. So. But, yeah, try that. Try making chili and using the Frito scoops as a spoon to eat the chili with, and you don't got to have a utensil. You can just do this and eat your chili. Hey, it saves you from having to clean a spoon. Just telling you. It's been coming. It's on its way. Yeah. All right, Patrick. I believe you, buddy. Not that I don't believe you, but, you know, I don't believe you. I got too many windows open. Let me close out some of these windows. Yeah, I forgot, man. I was a slacker today. I know you keep promising. Promising one hand and wishing the other and see what happens, right? You want a good Italian sausage sandwich with peppers and onions. Wow. I like Italian sausage. What I don't like is too much fennel. That fennel has such of a black licorice taste. I don't like a lot of that. You got to go light on the fennel for me. So. I'm almost out of my very last Lipton brisk iced tea. Almost out. You know? Oh, maybe I can get lucky tomorrow. Maybe while Lorelai's at her party, I could just sneak to Sam's and buy it and come home and she wouldn't know. Because she doesn't know that I'm out. She doesn't keep track of my cans. So maybe I could slide in there and get some and bring it back real quick. The only problem is to get it at Sam's, I got to go way back into the back of the store. Way back in the back of the store. I don't like that. But it's going to be 101, 102 degrees tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I do like Italian sausage. I just don't like the fennel, a heavy fennel presence in it. I've been working on some fettuccine stuff here lately, and I find it too boring. So I'm trying to figure out how to dress up some fettuccine. Because we're trying to find some different foods, some new foods. You know, you guys tell me what we should eat. Find us something to eat. We really like fish, so we got salmon back in the freezer. And we eat a lot of cod, but we got to have other things than that, you know. Did I tell you my dog eats duck? Here's the other thing. All right. So all of you guys know that I'm on the hunt for turkey, frozen turkey. If anybody knows where I can get frozen turkey really cheap, Or if you have some in your freezer that you don't want and you want to give it to me, I'd take it. Because our dog Lily eats frozen turkey with vegetables and pumpkin seeds ground up. But I've been out of turkey. So I've been boiling whole chickens until the turkey season comes back. Now, the other day, digging through the freezer to clean it out, I found a big old pack of duck breasts that apparently Lorelai bought for something. Tim says, "Back, call the breast tea people for delivery." Yeah, they should be able to just show up and pull up to my door. So I found this pack of duck breast, and it's been in the freezer a while, and I'm like, well, obviously Lorelai's not going to cook it because it's been sitting here forever. So I got it out the other day and I boiled it without seasoning, of course, like we do for Lily the dog food. And man, I'm telling you, that dog thinks duck is ducky. She usually, when she really, really likes something, when she eats it, you know how dogs wag their tails when they're happy? But when she eats, she doesn't do that. She just eats, because she's a scarfer. But the other day, the first time I gave her duck, oh my God, she was going apeshit. Her butt was wiggling, her tail was going crazy as she's chewing up this duck. Man, I can only imagine what was going through her mind. She probably, woo. So she's been getting some duck, but now I'm out of duck. Remember eating duck? I've had duck. I don't mind it, but I wouldn't, like I told somebody today, I don't mind duck, but I wouldn't go to a restaurant and order duck. I just wouldn't. There's too many other things that I would prefer to eat over duck. But it's not bad, depending on how it's cooked, but yeah, just not my thing. But man, our dog likes duck. So if anybody has any dead ducks laying around, let me know. That's why I told Lorelai, see, if we'd go to the park and capture some of those big old Canadian geese, well, we'd have plenty of stuff to feed Lily, but, we'd probably go to jail for, abusing wildlife or something like that. Taking game without a license or something like that, But the geese can come to your house and shit everywhere. You just can't do anything about it. Duck is very fatty. It definitely seems fatty. I agree, it has kind of a grease feel to it, but maybe that's why the dog liked it so much, because it feels fatty. So I let her have the duck fat. I didn't cut the duck fat off. I let her have it because, sometimes fat is good for you to have. It just is. And we give her lean turkey and lean meats. So this time I decided to keep the fat on. Maybe that's why she liked it so much. But I'm not a big duck fan. What do you guys like? Is there any food out there that you won't eat? Give me one ingredient, one food from everybody still in the chat that you will not eat, that you can't do it. Even if you went to somebody's house and you're being a great guest and they bring out chicken feet, are you going to eat the chicken feet? What's the one thing? Tate Sanders is in the house, my friend. How are you? What? Thank you for the thumbs up and being here, sir. What? Oh, I love liver. What's the one food that if you came as a guest even, you would have to bulk up and say, no offense, but that's disgusting. Sanders says, I love me some duck. Are you sure you love some duck? You sure you like duck? You're not confusing duck with something else, are you? Like the letter F? Yeah. I'm just asking, just clarifying. Liver, Ken hates liver. Sanders says snake. I've had rattlesnake. I enjoyed rattlesnake. I love liver though. I love liver. I can eat me some liver now. I like liver steak. I don't want to eat the raw liver like John Balut does, But I would be happy to eat liver. Liver and I don't like onions, so I like to make liver and mushrooms. Snake, I've had a rattler snake. Did you guys all hear? I'm going to tell you a story. I don't know if you heard this or not. Hello, Sanders. Tim says, hello, Timothy. Good to see you. Head cheese. True head cheese, like goat's head cheese. I can't remember if I like that or I don't. I know I've had it. I just don't remember what it tastes like. It's been so long. Liverwurst. I like liverwurst. I do. Lorelai thought that was really strange and weird, but I like it. My only problem is you can only buy it in a 1 pound thing, and all I really want is about a half a pound. So a half a pound will do me. I like liverwurst. There was, and now look, there was some lies that went on with this in the media, but I'm going to tell you a story about a snake. There's a football team here in the state of Arkansas, I can't remember, like Hackett, Arkansas, that as they started their football practice a couple weeks ago, now the original story came out that a kid played the two-a-day football, the first half of the two-a-days, which is usually a 2-hour practice. And when he took off his helmet, he saw something moving in his helmet. And it turned out to be a cottonmouth. It turned out to be a cottonmouth snake in his helmet. When I heard that, I thought that's bullshit. That snake would have bit him in the head. But the real story on the real news said, no. What happened was when they got all the helmets out and they started going through them, they found that there was a cottonmouth in the helmet, one of the helmets of the students. And the snake people came and took it away. That's interesting. So the internet lied about how it was in his helmet for 2 hours, and he ran around the field and getting hit, and then snake was still there, and then he took it off and saw it moving. It's all garbage. He never put the helmet on his head. Another lie by social media. Another lie. You can't believe anything on social media. I like liverwurst. I don't know. There's not too many things. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't want to eat. There really is. There's a lot of things I don't want to eat. But, I mean, I don't want fish head soup. I don't really like that. I'm not sucking a fish eyeball. So, those type of things for me. But I've had rattlesnake, and I enjoyed it. Gator's good, So, Ken, why don't you like liver? You're an old guy. You probably grew up in that era where liver and onions were very common. I remember back as a kid, gizzards, livers and gizzards at KFC. Oh my God, I love a good fried chicken liver. Liver and gizzards. I remember KFC, you used to buy them, and we had a grocery store that used to do them too, but they quit doing it about 10 years ago. Never had me some gator. I've had gator. Gator's fine. Tastes like chicken. Yes, Mom forced to eat it when I was young. I cannot stand it. Yeah, I guess pork and beans would be the thing for me. I'm not going to eat pork and beans. We grew up so damn poor that my dad got pork and beans through the military or somewhere, in the big 1-gallon cans all the time. And we grew up eating pork and beans after pork and beans after pork and beans and pork and beans. I don't give a crap. I'm not going to eat your damn pork and beans. I'm not going to do it. I like legumes, beans, as I said earlier, but pork and beans, that we know that's pork, I can't do it. One, it probably brings back too many childhood nightmares, but two, I think they taste like garbage. 3, after moving out of our house many years, 5, 6 years later, my dad's wife was a horrible cook. One of the worst cooks I've ever met in my life. She sucked at it. One year, my alcoholic brother, who's dead now, was having to live with me again because, alcohol got a hold of him. And we went out there for something where my dad lived and, all them. And Jamie, his wife at the time, his wife, gave us 2 great big old bags of chili that she made with pork and beans. She tried to make chili with pork and beans. It was so disgusting that I couldn't even get the stray dogs in the neighborhood to eat it. They wouldn't eat it. We put it out in a big bowl by the dumpster. Nothing touched it. Nothing touched it. I finally just threw the bowl after about 3 days. The maggots weren't on it. The flies weren't on it. There wasn't a damn thing on that pork and bean chili. It was gross. Pork and bean chili. So she put a bunch of chili powder in it and throw some ground beef in it and called it chili. I'm telling you. And I've cooked some really bad dishes myself. I've made some food that I went, oh, well, this is not good. But I'm telling you, we sat it outside in a big bowl, hoping the dogs would come and eat it, thinking all the stray animals needed it. The possums, the raccoons. No. Not even the homeless people would eat it. That was the worst thing. But pork and beans is something I'm not going to eat at your house. If we're out at a campfire and you got some pork and beans cooking over the campfire thinking you're doing a cowboy cookout, well, you just eat those damn pork and beans yourself. Now, if you got some red beans, some kidney beans, some pinto beans, even some nasty black-eyed peas beans, well, yeah, all right, even lima beans, which I don't like, I would eat. But I ain't eating pork and beans. I would rather eat 12 balut than I would a damn pork and bean. Just saying. Just saying. Patrick eats food. I wonder what Patrick's most hated food is. Chili is easy to make. Unfortunately, it does take time. Good chili takes time. It does. Really good chili is fun to make, but it takes a lot of effort, a lot of knife work. You know, you want to chop up your own vegetables is what I like to do. And I like chili that has a lot in it. So I like chili that has bell peppers in it and corn in it. I like a chili that has a lot of crap in it. I do a lot of vegetables. I tried to have a homemade chili dog 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I bought a can of hot dog chili, chili topping. It was the grossest stuff I've ever seen. I wind up giving it to Lily. I mixed it with some rice, and I gave it to Lily. And she ate it, but she could tell she didn't love it. Oh, yeah. Split pea soup. I remember being forced to eat that shit as a kid, too. Don't like it? I won't eat it today either. Not going to eat it. Not going to eat it. Not going to eat it. Now, here's another question I just thought of for you guys. Is there a dish from your history that you kind of didn't like at the time, but now that you're much older, you go back, you look back and think back and go, I would like to have that. Now, maybe it was because your grandmother made it, and maybe it wasn't your favorite dish, but it was something like a staple or something that grandma made every Christmas, and it wasn't the greatest tasting, but it wasn't horrible. So because there is one in my head. I've been thinking about this for the last couple of months, about this one dish that my grandmother made that I didn't like, but today I would like to have it. All right, let's see. When you buy pork chops in the store, something in it don't like yeah, Walmart meat is really bad. We get meat at Sam's. It seems to be a little bit better. But the meat at Walmart seems weird. I agree. It just really does. It doesn't seem right. And we don't eat much beef unless it's the black beef, Angus. But we don't eat much beef and steak because we don't like the way it tastes. We eat pork. We buy ground pork and ground beef from Sam's, and we make, I can't remember the name of that Filipino dish that has the carrots and the potatoes in it. I can't remember the name of that, but I like that. We make that with that. But is there a dish from your past that you really didn't care for, but now that you're older and you're an adult, you might go, I think I wouldn't mind having that again. For me, it's 7-layer salad. Now, my grandmother used to make this great big thing of 7-layered salad. My problem was I don't like eating mayonnaise. I don't like onions, and I don't like peas. Don't like them. And so your 7-layer, you layer it all, right? I don't like those 3 ingredients, but I don't know. I kind of miss having a 7-layer salad around. Now, maybe I could make it a lot better. Liver and onions, Dennis says you miss liver and onions. I don't like onions, so I like, what my dad was a pretty good cook. He was a butt wipe, but he was a pretty good cook. And he would make really good fried liver. I like liver, and so I miss the liver. Nick is in the house. When is my new movie coming out? Well, that's a great question. Are you talking about on my OnlyFans page? Or you talking about the mainstream media movies, like at movie theaters and stuff? Because I haven't done one of those in a couple of years. And right now, there's nothing on the horizon for me to be in that's going to the open market. Now, on the OnlyFans page, there's a new movie coming out. Let's see, today's the 14th. The 30th. The 30th of August, there'll be a new release for that. Yes, so you're welcome to go to the OnlyFans page, or you can super chat right here. I do offer topless photos of myself, Nick. If that's what you're interested in, I'm happy to give you one, to sell you one. For you, since you're new to the channel, maybe $50. Just super chat it, and I'll send you a photo of myself. If you want it autographed, that's another $25. But if you just want the picture, it's only $50. So, that sucks. It does suck. It sucks, Tim. It's a shitty salad. But maybe it's because she always made it, and we always had it at family dinners during the summer. And so maybe it kind of, makes me think of that time that now I can't appreciate. I can't reflect back upon, you know what I mean? So, do I want to eat the damn mayonnaise? No. Do I want to eat the onions? No. Do I want to eat the damn peas? No. So, Dennis is in the house. Thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. We appreciate that. We have a goal to meet tonight. I forgot to put my Sexiest Man contest up tonight. I forgot to do that. I don't know. But that's, I've been thinking about that. As much as I didn't like that salad, I've been thinking about that salad recently for some reason. And I don't know why that happens to us, Was it better times? Maybe. Maybe that's what. Maybe it's because we miss our old people. They're dead. I don't know what it is. But I don't know. But liver and onion. You guys all know John Belushi, right? Have you ever watched John Belushi eat raw liver? That'll make you think twice about liver and onions when you see John eating a raw liver on his channel. So, I guess that crazy Liver King guy did that too, right? Wasn't that kind of his stick, eating raw liver or something? But I guess he turned out to be crazy. I guess he went down in a deep ditch or something, went off bonkwards, got all crazy, wanted to get in a street fight with Joe Rogan because he was losing subscribers or something. And, I think he's gotten arrested, and he turned out to be on steroids and be a fraud. And, man, I don't know. The Liver King, or is that the Tiger King from Oklahoma? Remember the Tiger King who got arrested for murder? He was raised in the Lion King, whatever the hell his name was. So, I don't know. But that's what I've been thinking lately, but I don't know. I wouldn't make it. Maybe I'll make a different type of 7-layer salad. Would it be the same if I took that and said, well, don't do this, don't do that, and I'll find 3 other ingredients to put in it and to make it 7 layers? So, I don't know. What's everybody going to eat over the weekend? Like I said, I got to figure out what to eat tomorrow while Lorelai's gone. Sad thing is, I think the neighbor's dog is going ape shit. I think I hear that. I'll have to check it out later. Patrick says, I think meatloaf and mashed potatoes gravy tomorrow. Yeah, well, Pat, take your damn meatloaf and gravy and mashed potatoes and shove them up your ass. Because you never share, Patrick. And we don't want to hear about your meatloaf and mashed potatoes and gravy, Patrick. You know? I would have to make my own, and I'm too lazy to make my own. So, that's my problem. And Patrick won't ship me any. So there you go. Now, and the one thing I figured out, that if you go and buy store-bought meatloaf, I saw the ingredients. It was like 50% beef. The rest were some kind of fillers, like sawdust, you know, apple. Yeah. So, yes, Patrick, right on. Patrick likes that. Patrick. That's why we're not going to drive any hot, sexy women to you, Patrick. Because since you won't, you know, help us out with the meatloaf world. So, let me think of the meatloaf. Has nothing to do with this, but let me remind everybody, October the 3rd, Branson, Missouri. We're going to have a meetup if anybody who would like to join us. Jamie will be there. I think Pat and Ken's on their way. Sanders is going to come up with his family, aren't you, Sanders? Some other folks can try to come in. Tony the Walrus. So, if you guys want to come to Branson, October the 3rd, plan yourself a family trip or anything like that. If you need help with any of that, you let me know, and I'll help you with that. And so plan your trip around, then all of us will just meet up on Saturday afternoon and have a good time, and then everybody can go back to doing whatever they want to do. That's really a good time. Thinking of Meatloaf. Meatloaf is one of my favorite artists, by the way. You know, I don't know about you guys, but Meatloaf is absolutely, you know, one of the greatest musicians in the world, I believe. Love Meatloaf. Bat Out of Hell, Paradise City. I Can See Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. Some of the greatest music to grow up on in the entire history of the world. Gotta love some Meatloaf. What was his name? Does anybody remember Meatloaf's his real name? Amadeus something? Wasn't that his real name? Amadeus or something like that? Paradise by the Dashboard Light is great. It's a beautiful song. And we've all been there. That's the thing. It's very relatable. Tim says, I miss Salerno Christmas cookies. I don't know what those are. Is that a brand of cookies, I guess? Maybe it sounds kind of like an Italian brand of cookies or something. I don't know. Oh, a day. That's what it was. Ken says Meatloaf's real name was Marvin Lee Aday. So it wasn't Amadeus. Where did I get that at? I wonder where I got the word Amadeus at when it comes to Meatloaf. I remember the last name, but I thought he had a harder pronounced name. That's why they called him Meatloaf. Because he talked about it in a documentary. Or maybe his dad called him Meatloaf because, you know, he was a meatloaf or looked like a meatloaf. Amadeus. I wonder where I get that. I'm going to have to study that. But yeah, a day, I remember that. But I love Meatloaf. You can't beat a good Meatloaf soundtrack, right? I can see paradise by them dashboard lights. He's going to first, going to second, going to third. He's on his way home and she says, wait a second. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you really love me? Gotta love that. Well, let me sleep on it. What are you going to sleep on? Why are you always sleeping, Ken? You're a young man. You should do that. But yeah, I remember his last name being that. But I thought about the Amadeus thing. I wonder where that comes up at. So, or it could just be in my brain. Wasn't that the first name of Mozart? Amadeus Mozart? I don't know. All right. There is somebody in here that has a computer. Wikipedia says Meatloaf's name was Michael Leaday. Oh, is he dead? Shit, Meatloaf died in 2022? Really? I didn't know Meatloaf's dead. Huh. You guys know Meatloaf was dead? I didn't know he was dead. Baby, baby, let me sleep on it, and I'll tell you in the morning. One of my all-time favorites, non-Beatles songs. All right, Beatles are okay. I don't mind the Beatles. There's some stuff from the Beatles is okay. I agree. Ken says, yes, sir. Tim says, Mr. Google. Well, no, I'm asking Mr. Google right now. Mr. Google better say, yes, Mr. Hartman. Yes. Let's see. Amadeus. No. Mozart's name was Johannes Chrysostomus Wolfgangus Theophilus Mozart. I know the hell that is. Amadeus, Survivor is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. How are you? How you been? Everybody say hello to Survivor. They got a YouTube channel, by the way. Yes, he is. Hey, man, how you doing? We're doing good, man. How are you doing? You ready for the weekend? Amadeus. I got to figure out how to spell Amadeus. Amadeus. Or am I just making shit up? You know, I got hotels. I got a feeling I didn't spell it even closely to correct. I did spell it wrong. Let me do it the right way. Hang on. Everybody said hello to our friend Survivor. Survivor. Eye of the tiger. What? Well, there's apparently some companies named that. There's some companies named it. Pat says, hello, Survivor. Good to see you, my friend. How are you? There's a movie from 1984. Yeah, here it is. Maybe this is where I'm getting it from. It's a movie from 1984. Let's see if I can figure out what it's from. 18th century Vienna, court composer Antonia Salieri becomes all consumed by the envy with the gifted, irreverent Wolfgang. Well, see, there you go. Tim was right. This one has Amadeus as Mozart's middle name. Wikipedia doesn't mention it at all. So Tim was right. Timothy, good job. Good job. Excellent work, everybody. Outstanding. Charles says, hello, good to see you, Patrick. So what are you up to this weekend, my friend? Survival, what are you up to this weekend? Anything exciting? You gonna do anything? Do you gotta, here, what we were talking about the last little bit is, Is there a food, forget your MRIs, but is there a food from your childhood that you really didn't like, but now as an adult, you kind of look back and go, gee, I sure wish I could have that again? Is there a food like that? For me, it was this weird 7-layer salad my grandmother used to make. But even though I hated 3 layers of the salad, you know, I kind of wish I had it because she made, I don't know. So is there a food that you look back upon and go, sure, it'd be nice to have that now that I'm an adult and I might be able to appreciate the situation we were in? So that's our question for the moment. Patrick, thank you for saying hello to them. So Timothy was correct. That was, I guess, a nickname because Wikipedia, which is never wrong, you got to understand. Remember, number one rule, everything you see on the internet is true. Everything you hear on the internet is true. Just remember this. Much welcome, yes. Everything you believe, everything you hear in the bathroom is true. Everything you hear at the barbershop is true. Everything you hear on the fishing boat is true. You know, just remember that. That's what's most important to remember. All right. So we solved that problem. What other problem? But I didn't know Meatloaf died. How come nobody told me that Meatloaf died? I like Meatloaf. I'm going to have to play some Meatloaf tomorrow. While Lorelai's gone, I'm going to have to find some on YouTube and play some Meatloaf on our big screen TV and listen to it through her big ass speaker thingy that she has. I didn't know that. Almost as good as Bye Bye Miss American Bye. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day I die. This'll be the day that I die. Man, you guys are so lucky. Luck has nothing to do with it, boys and girls. I had to renew my car tag. I got my new tag on my car. I did get that done yesterday. It came in the mail about 3 weeks ago. I just had it sitting on the counter. I finally got up the nerve to go out there and stick it on the license plate. Good old peach cobbler. Yes, does everybody like peach cobbler? Peach cobbler, I like, but I'm more of a blackberry cobbler boy. I like blackberry cobbler better than peach, but I like peach. Don McLean, like it also, yes. But the peaches have to get cooked all the way through. I don't like a hard peach. So I got some fruit in the freezer that's frozen in these little pound bags, and I really like them, except for the peaches are not ripe. I like my peaches to be really, really, really done. But I like blackberry cobbler. Blackberry cobbler. Has anybody ever had rhubarb? You guys know what the hell rhubarb is? My father used to make a thing called, no, my grandmother used to make rhubarb pie. And my father thought he was extremely good at making this thing called mincemeat pie. What the hell is mincemeat pie? Does anybody know what mincemeat pie is? Mincemeat pie. And it was disgusting. Okay, what is it though? What is mincemeat? You haven't heard of mincemeat pie? Let's see. It is a sweet pie filled with a mixture of spice, fruits, and suet. Suet is what I feed my birds. and is traditionally served during Christmas time. Right? Isn't suet the fat of what I give my birds? Isn't that the stuff that holds the bird seeds together for the birds? Yeah. That's the same shit my birds eat. No wonder I don't like it. But I thought it was disgusting as a kid. Mincemeat is ground beef, Tim says. No, it's spiced fruits. There is a beef mincemeat pie. So yeah. There is but they call it a beef mincemeat pie. But a traditional from Europe, Britain, is a sweet pie filled full of fruit with a mixture of spices. But you can have a minced pie, yes, a beef pie. Oh, maybe Tim is right after all. This recipe says that you can have beef, apples, cidered, dried fruit, warm spices in the pie. That's disgusting. Oh, I like fruitcake. So Tim is right. Apparently some recipes, I'm looking at a bunch of different recipes, some have no beef and some have beef. But it still has all the weird fruit and spices in it. And it can even be made up for weeks and months in advance. All right, we're not having that. I don't want anybody eating that ever again. I love fruitcake, especially good fruitcake. I'm a big old fruitcater. I like them fruitcakes. Woo. Pat says, I remember Del Monte used to make chocolate pudding and vanilla. Like in a cup, you mean? The combination chocolate and vanilla? I had those too. You know, back when Bill Cosby wasn't a child predator. You know, Jello or pudding cups or whatever they were. I like pudding. I do. And I liked it in the cups. They weren't a lot of calories. They were layered, right? You had chocolate on top of the vanilla or vice versa. My favorite pudding was butterscotch. I had a grandmother who made homemade butterscotch pudding, and it was really good. Real butterscotch pudding. I like butterscotch. Man, we've learned all kinds of shit. Don't eat mincemeat pie. I want you guys all to promise me not to eat that. That sounds disgusting. But my dad loved to make it. He thought it was some kick-ass shit. But not last year's fruitcake. What was wrong with last year's fruitcake? I haven't had any fruitcake, to be honest. I've had fruitcake every year. But I haven't had any really good high-quality fruitcake because good quality fruitcake is expensive. I haven't had any probably in 3 to 5 years at the earliest. You know, the crap you buy at Walmart is not good quality fruitcake. It's just not. It's there, but I haven't had any good fruitcake in a long time. Warm tapioca pudding. Yeah, I remember eating those bugs when I was a kid. I hated that. I don't mind it today. The strange thing is, I don't mind tapioca pudding today, but back when I was a kid, I thought it was disgusting. I thought I was eating like maggots, you know, weird. I didn't like it, but I don't mind it today. I don't mind it today. But back in the day, as a young, brilliant, handsome young man, no. I thought I was eating like cockroaches or maggots or something weird and weirder in there. It's kind of like the same thing with marmalade. We talked about marmalade I was never a big marmalade fan either. So, yeah. Or apple butter. Did anybody eat apple butter? I don't like apple butter. Once again, we have a contradiction. What is butter? Butter is a dairy product. Apple is a fruit. You cannot get dairy from a fruit. Right? You can't do it. You can't get milk from almonds. Pat likes apple butter. My dad did. My dad and grandmother, I remember, they ate apple butter all the time. I mean, it was a big, they really ate a lot of apple butter. Goulash. Lorelai, oh God. All right, I'll tell you a funny story. They're all dead now. Everybody, all of my friends are dead now, by the way, because, that's what happens when you get old. I had a Swedish friend who made goulash, and her goulash was garbage. It sucked. It sucked big shit and hairy balls. It was really bad. And she came up with a bad name of it. I know, but still, come on. You can't get milk from almonds. You can't get milk from freaking apples. So, and we had goulash as a kid some too, and I didn't like the onions in it, but I didn't mind goulash. As long as you made it real. My stepmother, I'm going to tell you two stories. My stepmother, who was the most horrible cook, would substitute all kinds of weird shit into goulash and just say, oh, it's goulash. Meaning you could just throw any damn thing you wanted that you found on the floor in it and call it goulash. But my Swedish friend always made goulash, and she would give me some, and I would be polite and take it home and throw it out. And Lorelai reminded me the other day, because we were talking about the coma that I was in. Apparently, a couple of days after I came out of the coma, our Swedish friend came up to visit at the hospital. And and I don't remember this because, squishy brain, but Lorelai remembers it. Apparently, she offered to make some goulash and bring it up to the hospital for me. And Lorelai said that I told her that her goulash sucked shit. It was the worst goulash that was ever made in the history of the world. Apparently, I had quite a lot to say about how shitty her goulash was. And she's like, I guess apparently because her grandkids really liked it. And I said, no, I guess I told her your grandkids don't like it. They only tolerate it because grandmother makes it. But your grandkids thinks it's a bunch of bullshit too, or a bunch of garbage, So Sanders is back in the house saying hello, 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 Sanders. Did you see my new video about my new shoes, Sanders? I got some new shoes, buddy. So apparently I told our good friend Renita that no, the only reason your grandkids like your goulash is because you make it. Other than that, it's shit. It's garbage. It's gross. So, but, basically she cleaned out the refrigerator or the floor and made goulash. But that's not true goulash, right? True goulash is not just whatever you can find in the house to throw in it. Sanders says, hello, Patrick. What's new with you, young man? Not much, Sanders. Taking it easy, brother. I didn't liver. I like liver. You don't like liver? So goulash. But my German grandmother, who really wasn't my grandmother, who was a shitty cook too, and her daughter was my stepmom, she had a German friend from the old country that made really good goulash. And I remember eating that a lot as a kid. Gator is good. I like gator. I'm good with gators. I like gator. I like it. I like gator. Patrick likes liver. I like liver, Dennis likes liver. But yeah, I like rattlesnake. I like a lot of things. Duck is okay. Lily's eating duck now. My dog Lily's being blessed with duck meat. Fish is good. There's not too many fish I don't like. And now there's only some that I can tolerate so much of. Like trout. I like trout, but I only want to eat 1 or 2 trout and then call it quits. Well, there you go. Don't have me come out of a coma and then ask me what I think about your food. Or apparently anything, because Lorelai tells me that I apparently laid into a whole lot of people after my coma. You know, I told a whole lot of people shit. And apparently I tried to bribe some of the nursing staff. Or I didn't try to bribe them. I told Lorelai she needed to go home. Now, I tell you, and this will all be in the book, that when I came out of the coma, I actually thought Lorelai was an alien. Not an illegal alien. I think my dog just farted. Not an illegal alien, but a space alien, an extraterrestrial. I thought she was an alien. Yeah, it took me a couple of days to figure out she wasn't. Haddock, the fish? Okay. I won't do haddock. That's the one that they put under the ground, right? Is that the right one they put under the ground? I've never had it, but I've smelt it, and I will not eat it. So, apparently, in my stupor, I told Lorelai that she needed to go to the bank, because you got to remember, I had no clue what was going on, that I needed her to go to the bank and take out some money to pay our helpers. Our helpers were the medical staff. I didn't know that, but I thought they were people helping us. And I always pay my own bills. I pay my own way. That's why I'm poor, because, you know, I usually don't take advantage of people. I pay my own way. So in my squishy brainness, I got kind of upset because Lorelai didn't want to pay the help. Pay the damn help. You know, it's what we hired them for. You know? So, man, you just never know what's going on in somebody's brain. I got to get my book going. It's just so emotional. I got to get that book going. I do got a good title for it. You know, I'm working on that. I am working on the book a little bit. But, you know, maybe I need to take drugs and do that. Maybe I ought to do like acid or mushrooms and write the book or something. I don't know. But, yes, I remember that. Oh, that's lutefisk? Is it lutefisk? That's the stuff they bury? Haddock is good for frying? Okay. Hey, black eyed peas, one of my favorite. You like black eyed peas? Really? As a kid, my father used to try to make us eat them for New Year's, you know, the stupid tradition. I don't like black eyed peas. I love legumes, but pork and beans and black eyed peas are not on my list. You know, if I got it, if they're served on a plate at a restaurant, will I eat them? Yeah, I'll have a bite or two. But I'm not going to go out of my way to eat black-eyed peas. I'm just not. I don't mind the mung beans from the Philippines, but I like pretty much, even lima beans are kind of low on the list, but I'll eat lima beans if they're served to me. But not pork and beans. Hey, black-eyed peas, one of my favorite. You mean the band, the musician? Is there Black-Eyed Peas, the band? Or the Beans? So, and then, of course, growing up, poor like all of us did, how many of you guys had beans and ham? Beans and ham and rice. We ate so much damn beans and ham and rice, it was unfathomable. But that's what poor people do in America, right? A big pot of beans that are really cheap for the kids. You can throw a ham hock in there and let it soak all day long or cook all day long. Make some rice, and there you go. You feed people for days. I'm not red beans and rice, Cajun style is one thing. Tim says, invent Willie Nelson. He will help you write your book. Oh, invite Willie. Yes. Oh, I saw that. Yeah. He will help me write my book. I need that. I need help. Willie, but Willie's pretty old, and I don't have any smoke in the house, so he may not want to come. He could roll up on his tour bus with his own smoke, I guess. He could roll his own smoke. So, I'm going to let ChatGPT or the internet or something like that to try to help me get started. My problem is I just got to be in the right frame of mind to do it. So. But I need to write the book. I need to figure, maybe it's what's going to push me over the edge and allow me to buy a house, is if I write a book and make some money. I don't know. So I got to quit dilly-dallying and suck it up, buttercup, and write the book and get it out there and market it and see if I can't become famous enough to buy, real food for my dog, to keep feeding my fat dog, who just farted, by the way. And maybe it's the duck. Maybe the duck is calling her to lay in those long-winded farts. But all right, my friends, so it's after 11:30 here. We've been on a little bit over 2 hours. It's time for us to wind this beautiful live stream down. I am going to go live tomorrow, probably noonish, for a little while. Lorelei will be out of the house, so I'll be able to do that. Willie will bring his own smoke because he doesn't want no cheap-ass stuff growing in the backyard. So, but I'll do it live tomorrow during the day and then Monday night. So, Sanders, Walmart meat comes in boxes. Walmart's meat's just gross. We all know that. Walmart meat is gross. And I don't know. We don't buy meat at Walmart anymore. So, we just don't. But I appreciate everybody coming in, all the thumbs up, all the new people being here tonight. All the people from Ken's area, his group of friends came over and visited, which we greatly appreciate. It's good to see all of y'all. If you guys need us, you know how to reach us. But I will pop on live for a little while tomorrow during the middle of the day. So you guys all take care, get some rest, or go do something productive, whichever you like. Appreciate each and every one of you as always. Be safe. And we will see you guys